Hey guys, this is Garth Holman, and I'm here with part 2 of Diigo. So I want to reiterate what JC went over with you about Diigo in the basics. So he helped you set up your account. He showed you how to add extension to your browser, whether that be Chrome or Firefox or Safari. He showed you how to bookmark a website, how to tag it, tagging being what are the names you're going to use. He showed you how to highlight, and then he showed you how to share an annotated link. So in this section, I'm going to do a couple more things. I'm going to show you the post-it note option. How do you add post-it notes? There's 2 ways I'll show you about that. I'm going to show you how to upload annotated images to your Diigo account for use later. And then I'm going to show you how to search in your library. Now, I've been a member of Diigo since 2010, I believe, and I have 6,000 plus articles I've read over those 10 years, or websites I should say, not articles. So knowing how to search your library once you build it becomes pretty important. What you're going to do for your final assignment after I get done is you're going to find another classroom article you might use. You're going to read it and annotate it, doing the things that you did in JC's class. And then you're going to add at least 2 post-it notes with questions to help guide future readers. So you'll share that annotated link and we should be able to see those post-it notes built in. So let's get started. I picked an article that a kid sent to me after just today. I made a comment in class. We were talking about exploration, and he sent me an article because I made a comment about shipwrecks and the amount of money found in shipwrecks. So this was an article a kid found and immediately emailed to me. So I've already highlighted some things, and I've added a question or a post-it note. So I said, why do you think this ship went down? The rest of the article will explain, but can you take a guess? So as they first read, I want them to kind of guess, because we talked about some possible ideas. Well, the question is, how do you get that post-it note in there? So I'm going to show you a couple ways. Whenever you highlight text and you get done, you have the icon and you have the post-it note. If you click post-it note, it builds the post-it note right into the text. You can keep the post-it note private as it says here. That means nobody that goes to this, or anybody that goes to this web page, wouldn't see it, even if they're in a Diigo group where they can see your Diigo highlights. They wouldn't see your private post-it notes. So you want to make sure that when you put your post-it notes up, you keep that in mind. You can also share them with a group. This is where the teacher version becomes so important. Once you get a teacher version, you can share with a larger group, and then they will see your post-it notes on the website itself. And again, I'm doing this as a test, so I'm just going to write test because I'll end up deleting these. But see how it builds it directly in. Kids can respond to that. When they see it, they can literally write a comment and post it back. So they can carry on conversations, which we'll show you in the final version. The other way you can do it is you can just add a post-it note. It's always going to put the post-it note in the upper left-hand corner. Now you can move that around, but it doesn't really stay where you want it. So the 2 ways are to add it to the margins. These might be private, and you might talk, remember to discuss, A, B, and C. I'm just kind of putting stuff so you can see it. But that way when I go to it, I know, hey, I need to remember to do this before the kids go to this assignment. These are private. Nobody else will be able to read it. I save. So you've got 2 ways to save. You can save by highlighting and clicking post-it note, making it public or private. Again, if you're not the teacher version, it's only going to be private. And you can also make them then on the margin. So that's how we add post-it notes. Now there's an image right here that I'm going to show you how to annotate. Now again, my annotations aren't going to be real important for my class. I'm just showing you the process. There's 2 ways to do this. If you see it, I already have Diigo and I can upload this picture. But if I go to my browser, I have annotated screenshot. And that allows me to drag over any part of an image and to take basically a screenshot. But you get these icons. Now, I would never do this in real class, but I'm doing it for you guys. I'm going to point out these are fish. So I might highlight the fish with ovals so we know they're fish. The idea I'm trying to get you to see is that we can annotate anywhere on it. So here's another fish over here. So those are fish, and I might say, what's the, I could actually write that. What is in the circle? So I might want them to recognize these are fish and not part of the treasure that was found. So I can type on this. The other thing I can do is I can add arrows. So if I wanted them to see, and again, this is a treasure find, but I don't really see any gold that I can easily misplace. But suppose I wanted to talk about that particular object, let's this object. So I want to talk about that object. I could put an arrow so it's very clear. I can do other things which you can play around with, other shapes and other lines, but you get the idea. I can also change the color. I then can save this. I can either attach it to the bookmark, so it's going to save inside the article I did. So I'm going to do that, right? But now I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to save it another way so you can see how that looks. This one, again, I'm going to do less annotations, just show you the process. So I highlight, and in this case, I'm going to use a square box, and I'm going to put it here, just so we can see the difference. And this way, I'm going to stand it alone, okay? Now I need to tag it. So I'm going to put Columbus Exploration and save. So when I go to my library, you'll see that, wait, two things just appeared. And it just happened 4 seconds ago. So automatically uploaded that picture with my annotation so that I can use this anywhere even if the website disappears. And I can see my highlights where it says remember to discuss. I can see what I wrote. And the image that I put more highlights in appears inside the article. That's where it was found in the article. So those are two ways that you can add two ways you can take pictures and have them standalone annotated. By the way, then you can share these as well to your students with a shared link. So you can just send a link to the picture just like you could with your website, or you can embed them if you do happen to have a website or some other place where you can embed content. So those are the basic two ways this works. Now the other thing is, how do you search your content? So I said I was going to use relics, and so when I do it, you'll see I have 4 websites that come up that are saved with relics. If you look at the dates, 2012, 2013, 2013, 2015. So we can begin to see all of the annotations are here. I don't need to go to the website. I can now read inside my Diigo account what's on those websites, or if I really want to go back and see them, in this case there are 5 annotations. I should be able to click this, and it's going to pull up those annotations. Once it loads, they should appear, and there they are. So I can go see them, right? Or I can send an embedded link if I want. But being able to find topics is pretty important. So if I put Rome in, we're going to see a lot more things pop up. So in this case, I got 39 articles that have been read about Rome. Some by me, some by students that are shared with me. So you can begin to collect lots of information, and you can sift through it. So those were the requirements that I wanted to go over. These 3 things: how to post-it note, how to archive annotated images, and how to search by tags. I'll repeat again what our goal is. We want you to find at least one more article, complete everything you did with JC, so highlighting, adding your bookmark, and you're tagging it. And then we're going to add at least 2 post-it notes. You can try annotating an image if you would like. That would be a big plus, although I guess we didn't technically assign it. You want to make sure you know how to do that. I will say, if you do get the teacher version, which again we couldn't require because it takes a little more time, you do get a lot more options. So if you do get the teacher version, you can type in Holman link KSU, and oops, I'm sorry, I could have went to groups. In groups, if you actually search that, you will find that we created one where you can share to this group and all of your information will go. So let me very quickly do one more thing. In my library, I'm going to go back to the website we just read. Here's my shipwreck article. I'm going to open this up, right? I'm going to look at my bookmark, but I'm going to make a change. I'm going to share it to a group, right? And I'm going to share this here. So if you guys happen to be able to join the group, which is not a requirement, but if you can do that, you should be able to go into the group, and you're going to be able to, oops, I clicked the wrong one, I'm sorry. I have to go back, sorry. If you click the link Holman group, that will now be there with the images uploaded, and you'll be able to see those. They're shared with you directly. Again, that's the teacher version, but it has a lot of power. So hopefully you enjoyed this little session of Diigo, and we'll talk about in our next session how you can use Diigo in your classroom, what can you actually do with this, and about your final project. All right, have a good day.